Hi budget babes, it is Julia Creations and I'm officially back with another video, you guys. I had the sick bug for a few days and it was just taking over my soul, you guys. Hold on. Oh my gosh, you guys, my planners or my little boxes I had on my desk were starting to fall, so I just had to move those. But anywho, you guys, so I'm just getting over the sick bug. If you guys are new here, welcome in. And my name is Julia Creations. I'm a financial coach that specializes in budgeting and teaching people how to get their finances on track. Oh my gosh, I missed you guys so much. I've never went like a week without posting on YT, which is just so weird for me. I'm so used to always being here, or even if I miss a day, I'll come on the next day. So y'all, after I said I was gonna get my schedule back together, I get sick. So of course, you know, you gotta do what your body wants you to do. But anywho, we're back today with another budget video, and this is a client that recently purchased her digital blue budget planner. I'm gonna insert my website so you guys can get your planners and your tools to start yourself off for the new year. She needs just a routine to get better at budgeting. So today we're going to be using my calendar book and my budget planner. All budget planners do come with the calendar, but we're going to be doing a crossover. So we're going to be doing a bi-weekly budget going into November. So we're going to be using both calendar books so we can organize that and get that set up for her. So let's get into it. Alright, you guys, so the first thing we're going to do is fill in our November calendar. So not our November calendar, I'm sorry, our October calendar. We are starting with her payday that falls on the 16th. So I'm going to go ahead and start this October calendar, and we're doing her payday of the 16th. Today is currently the 16th, so we're going to start off that paycheck. So I'm going to go ahead, fill in her bills, and then we're going to be right back. Alright, you guys, and ignore my tabs. This is my sample planner for examples, so it has tabs I'm testing out on them. So of course the tabs don't match the month, but that's not important. So now that we have all of our bills and expenses in here, and we also have our paydays, our next payday is going to fall on the 30th, which is going to be $1,500. We're going to go ahead and set up our budget for the month so we can see everything coming in and going out. We're going to be starting with this paycheck on the 16th all the way to the 30th, but we're going to go ahead and still just put our monthly overview. We'll go ahead and list our bills and expenses in here, and we're going to say the month of October/November because we're going to be falling in there, and we're just going to work on our paydays that fall this spot. So payday number 1 and then payday number 2 that we're going to be working with, and this is going to be 10/16 and this is going to be 10/30 because these are the last paychecks of October. So the amount we're going to put, that's the before tax if you want to put that in there, but we're going to do the after tax. This first check is going to be $1,771. The second check is just going to be $1,500 since we didn't work that many hours. So our budget goal is to learn how to budget. We want to focus on how do we get budgeting done, how we do this. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about two different expenses: fixed expenses versus variable expenses. Fixed are going to be our bills that are usually the same each month, and variables are going to be our expenses that vary each month. So we're going to go ahead and write our bills in. Alright, you guys, now that we wrote down all of our bills and expenses, we are going to go ahead and add them up. So our fixed side, $13.70 for rent, student loans, $150, Wi-Fi, $56, our other loan for $314, our phone bill for $138, our HBD loan $112, our renter's insurance $31, and our Reliance for $22.13 as our fixed bills. Now let's go ahead and add up our variables. We have a credit card for $98, a car payment for $42, cover draft $143, spending $160, eating out $90, Uber $86, kids spending $65, giving $85, and groceries $63. So our variables are going to total to $18.32. Hold on, let me add that up again one more time. 98 plus 42 plus 143 plus spending for 160, eating out for 90, Uber for 86, kids spending for 65, giving for 85, groceries for 63, and then self-care 75. There we go. Alright, so that's gonna be 907. Alright, 907 plus 2213. We're gonna total to 3120 for our expense total. Now let's see what our full income total is that we're bringing in. 1771 plus 1500. We're bringing in about 3271 per month. So 3271 minus 3120. We're roughly able to save 151 per month. Alright, so now we have our cash surplus. We know how much we can save. Now we're going to work on setting up our breakdown. Alright, you guys, so we're going to go ahead and set up our weekly / bi-weekly template, and I'm going to be using my regular green highlighters instead of my glitter highlighters today because your girl is in that type of mood. So let's go ahead and set up all of our weeks of all of our pay periods in here from the 16th all the way until the first or second week of November. So let's get to it. Alright, you guys, so now that we went ahead and wrote down our weeks of, we're going to go ahead and section off our planner. So we're going to be looking at the week of the 13th to the 20th, which is going to be the payday of the 16th. So we need to cover everything from the 16th to the 30th. So I'm going to go ahead and section this off. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and on our paycheck breakdown, we're going to put the payday of 10/16. So we know based off our payday, we're bringing in 1771. And now we're going to go ahead and write down our expenses that fall through. So we are behind on the student loans, so we will have to use the check to pay the student loans this week. So we're going to go ahead and do student loans. It's going to be $150, so that will throw off our budget, but at least we're able to take care of it. So now we have our cover draft, which is going to come out for $143. So we're going to go ahead and cover the cover draft with this check. That's going to be on our variable side because that's something that we're not going to have to pay every single month, but since we were overdraft, we need to take care of that. So 143 is what we're going to be paying. All right, and then we have our Cash App repayments that we need to pay for $43, and then we also have our Dell credit card for $33. So we're gonna go ahead and put CA credit card, which is going to be $43, and then our Dell credit card, which is going to be $33. All right, and we'll go ahead and cross this off on this side since we covered it with this check. All right, and then we also have our renter's insurance for $31 as well. So renter's insurance $31. Alright, you guys, so let's start talking about splitting bills. So let's go ahead and look at our budget for the month. So roughly in our budget for the month, rent is $13.70. We have our Advent loan for $3.14, our phone bill, our HBD loan, and those are going to be bills that will need to be split because we can't pay those all with one check just based on the way our pay periods fall. So what we're automatically going to do is we're going to split our rent. So our rent is $13.70 for the month. We're going to split rent for each check to be $6.85. So we make sure we cover rent, and we're going to put this as a split. So this will help us cover our rent for November coming up, and then this will also pay the other half. So we're going to go ahead and put rent for $6.85. So we made sure we put some of our check aside for rent for November. Our phone bill totals to $138 for the month, and we're going to split that as well. The phone bill usually comes out on the 3rd, so we're going to have to worry about that for November. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up our November calendar so we can start planning November in a second. But we're going to go ahead and split our phone bill. We're going to do our phone bill as $69 for split because we're going to split these in half. That way when the phone bill comes, we don't have to pay that full $138 with one check. We're also going to go ahead and split our Advent loan because that's a harder loan for us. The Advent loan comes out on the 2nd of each month for $314. $314 divided by 2 is going to be, let's see here, $157. So we're going to go ahead and split this. So why we're going to split this, we're going to talk about this a little bit more into detail once we get to this week where November will be starting. But this is what we're going to split for now. And I'm also going to put split. So we know that we haven't paid it all in full, but we're putting a partial payment aside for that. All right. So let's go ahead and add up our fix here. So we got our renter's insurance, our student loans. Do we have the cover draft in here? Okay, the cover draft is on this side. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add this up. So we have student loans for $150, renter's insurance for $31, rent $685, phone bill $69, and Advent for $157, which is gonna total our fix right off the bat to $1092. All right, you guys, now we need to see how much we're gonna be spending on our variables. If we spend $160 a month on spending, we're going to divide this by 2 because this is a bi-weekly budget. So we're going to do spending here, which is going to be $80. All right, eating out is $90 a month, so we're going to change that to $45 bi-weekly. Eating out for $45. All right, Uber's $86 per month, so we're going to go ahead and do that to $43 bi-weekly. Then we have kids spending for $65, so we're gonna go ahead and break that down to $33 bi-weekly. And then self-care is $75 per month, so we're gonna go ahead and do self-care for $37 bi-weekly. And then we have giving, which is $85 per month. We're going to go ahead and split that in half to $42 bi-weekly. Then we have gas for, let's see here, where is the gas? Did we not add gas in here? I think we didn't add gas to our fix. Alright, you guys, we gotta add gas in here. So we're gonna go ahead and add gas for 31. And then I have to go ahead and fix that. Gas is $31. Oh wait, do we have gas? No, just Uber. Yeah, just Uber. So that will be groceries for 31. So we got groceries for 31. Alright, perfect. Because the Uber is our spending for that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add that up. Alright, you guys, so we're going to see how much we actually spent for this week of. So let's add everything up. We got our cover drafts for $143, our CA for $43, our Dale for $33, our spending for $80, then we have our eating out for $45, our Uber for $43, our kids for $33, our self-care for $37, our giving for $42, and our groceries for $31. That's going to total our variables to $530. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take 530 plus 1092. Our expenses for this week will total to 1622. So for my people that struggle with figuring out how to set up their paychecks or know what they're going to spend for their paycheck and plan in advance, this is the perfect template for you. 1771 minus 1622 is going to be 149. In our savings. And we made it through that first, or that paycheck of the 16th. And we're good to go. Alright, you guys, and just like that, we finished the week of the 13th to the 20th. So let's look at that on our calendar. This is the 13th to the 20th. This is the week that we don't get paid. So we're going to zero income that, zero expenses, because we covered all of our expenses for the next 2 weeks. So our groceries, our eating out, all of that is covered until the next payday, because we're going to use that check to cater for the next 2 weeks. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the payday of the 30th. So now we're going to go ahead and start our November calendar. So we're going to say payday of 10/30. Which is going to bring in $1,500. And we're going to go ahead and fill in a November calendar so we can make sure we're setting up our weeks of correctly. Alright, you guys, now we officially set up our November calendar, so we're going to be looking at the payday of the 30th. So let's go ahead and grab our highlighters. So we're going to be looking at the payday of the 30th all the way until the next payday of the 13th. So the payday of the 13th, which is going to be $1,500. So I'm going to go ahead and section these off. Oh, I love this green highlighter on the blue. It looks so nice. Alright, so here goes our section that we're going to section off. And now let's go ahead and set up this week. So what bills are gonna fall through this week? We have our Apple credit card, which is going to be $65. So Apple credit card, $65. We low-key should have paid the Apple credit card with this one, but we're just gonna move it up. It's fine. So then we have our other portion of the rent that's due. So I'm gonna go ahead and do rent, which is gonna be $685. All right, and then we have our Advent loan again, the split for that, because this is due. The Advent loan. And guys, this is us finishing off the split. So this is the first portion of it, and this is the second portion of it. So basically paying it off. So that's the rest of that split. All right. Then we have the HBD loan. We had to cover that split from the last month ahead. So that split was covered with this paycheck on the 2nd. So now we're doing the last portion this week. So HBD loan, it's gonna be $56. All right, because it's due around the 5th this time. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the phone bill split. When does the phone come out? The phone comes out on the 3rd. Forgot to put the phone on here. For $138. So we're under the other split of the phone with this check, $138. So phone is gonna be $138. All right. And I think that's everything we split. All right, you guys. So that's everything we had to for sure split. Now we're gonna go ahead and deal with the, let's see here. So this is a tighter week, you guys, so let's go ahead and add up our expenses and see what we're working with. So we have the rent, which is gonna be $685. Then we have our Advent for $157, our HBD for $56, our phone for $138. So that's going to be $1036 plus $65. So this is where we get in a jiffy and we might have to adjust our variable expenses, you guys. So spending is usually $80 2 weeks. This totals to $530. So we can't go over this $530, so we'll have to adjust. So we know for sure we have to have our kids spending for $33. Let's go ahead and add up our variables real quick. Did we put the Reliant on here? And the student loan again too, you guys. So before we even cover those variables, let's make sure we have all our fixed. So we have our student loan, which is going to be $150, and our Reliant for $42. So student loan, $150. The Reliant for $42. All right, so we have Reliant for $42, the student loan, perfect, and then we need to write the CA repayment for $16. Let's go ahead and include that in there, the CA repayment. All right, so let's go ahead and add up our bills first, our fix. So we got $685 plus $157 plus $138 plus $150 plus $42. That's gonna total our fix to $1172 right off the bat here. So $1172 is our total for our fix. So now, guys, we have to be very careful with our variables to make sure we're not going over. So we have Apple for $65, kids for $33, our CA replay for $16. So now we need to make sure we're adjusting for this week. So this week we're gonna have to do our groceries for 31 because that's important. So groceries 31, which repeats, and our grocery total for the month is 163. All right, you guys, so let's keep going. So we make sure we're not going over. So 1172 plus 65 plus 33 plus 16 plus 31. So we're gonna max out this 1500, you guys. We have our savings up here, but we're gonna max this out, but we might have to adjust some of our spending. So we know for sure groceries repeats every single week. We have our spending for 80. So we're tight when it comes to spending this week and eating out, just because it's a tighter week. So for spending, we'll still do our 80 for spending. So let's see, maybe we could still do our spending for 80 bucks. And then let's see what we have left over. Did we do Uber yet? We for sure got to do Uber for 43. Uber for 43. And then we have $60 left over. So we're going to have to do eating out for 30. And then self-care for 30 since it's a tighter week this week. So self-care 30 and eating out for 30. That's how we make our budget stretch if we are at a tight space. Our goal is to only have 150 left over. Even behind, we'll still have 150 left over while being behind. So let's go ahead and add this up. That was perfect. All right. 65 plus 33 plus 16 plus 31 plus 80 plus 43 plus self-care plus eating out is going to be 328. So 328 is what's going to go on our variable side. 328 plus 1172 exactly puts us at 1500. So we won't be able to save this check, but we still reached our goal of having about 151 left over. We're just off by a few dollars. So that's how we would set up a bi-weekly budget. This next week, we're going to go ahead and plan out the last week here of November for her. So let's go ahead and section that off. Okay, so the next week of would technically be this week, the 4th to the 10th. As you can see, we don't have a payday. That's why we covered everything on the previous budget with that week. So this week was 0 off. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So now we're going to look at the next week, which is going to be the payday of the 13th. So payday 11, 13. We have 1500 coming in. And now we're going to go ahead and adjust our expenses that are going out. So let's go ahead and grab a different color highlighter. What shade is this one? It's more on the lighter end. So basically our next payday will be the 27th. So we have to cover everything that falls from the 27th. So payday here. We have Wi-Fi for 76, and then we're also going to do our repeat, you guys. Remember the bills that repeat again. So we're going to do Wi-Fi for 76. We're going to also do our CA repay as well. Actually, you guys, we don't even have the CA repay anymore, so we don't even have to worry about that. The last CAPA was this day, or the Cash App repay was this day. So we just have our Wi-Fi for 76, I mean 56. Sorry, you guys. I flipped my 5s and 7s. So we have the Dell credit card, which is going to be $33. Alright, so the Dell credit card for $33. Oh, I guess I'm going to use the brighter blue because it shows up better on here. Alright. We have our Dell credit card for $33. And then remember, guys, all those bills that repeat because it's bi-weekly for us. So we're going to split our rent, our Advent, our HBD loan, our phone bill. And then our renter's insurance falls on the, let's see here. The renter insurance usually falls on the 31st. So we're going to go ahead and take care of our renter's insurance too. It could be covered with this other check, but we're just going to get it out the way for 31. So we're going to go ahead and put our Wi-Fi, our rent, our Advent loan, $157, our HBD loan for $56, our renter's insurance for $31. All right, you guys, and then let's go ahead and set up our variables. All right, you guys, and then we're gonna put our variables that repeat every single week. So that's gonna be our Uber, our eating out, our spending, our kids spending, our giving, and our groceries. Last week we didn't really get to do any giving because we were tight, but that's something that we don't have to do if we're tight. So we're gonna go ahead and do spending, which is gonna be $80. Then we have eating out, giving means just giving to her family members that may need something, her younger siblings, $43. Give for $33. Self-care, $37. We'll do giving, $42 this week. And then groceries, $31. All right, now let's go ahead and add that up. Let's go ahead and see. So we got Wi-Fi 56, rent 685, Advent loan 157, HBD loan 56, renters for 31. That's gonna put us at $985 this week. All right, our variables 33 plus 80 plus 45 plus Uber plus kid plus self-care plus giving plus groceries, which is 31, which is going to be $344 this week. 344 plus 985. Our total of expenses for the week is going to be $1,329. 1,500 minus 1,329. 1,500 minus 1,329 is going to be $171 in our savings. Alright, you guys, that was a long one, but we made it through. So let's talk about everything that we did here. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with October. So this was our budget that we set up for October. This is where we were starting from the 16th all the way to the 30th. These are all the bills and expenses we're going to cover from the 16th to the 30th. All we did was break all this down from the month and break it down to a bi-weekly budget. So this is our first paycheck that we're dealing with for the month. These are the bills that are going to repeat again that we split. So that was the first week, and then this is the week we don't get paid, so that zeroes out for this week. And then this week right here is going to be our payday of the 30th, which will fall into our first paycheck basically of November. So this is the week that we're going to cover everything that's in this section, split as we split. And then now this next following week, we don't get paid the 10th or the 3rd to the 8th. So that week right here, the 3rd to the 8th is zeroed off because that's this breakdown here. And then this is the week, our last week of the month, that we covered with the payday of the 13th of November. So we do get paid again November 27th, but it's almost going to be a duplicate of this check again because all these bills will be coming out again for the 1st of the month. Alright, you guys, and just like that, we're officially done with this budget. Thank you guys again so much for watching this YT video. If you would like to get your own budget made, make sure you guys go to the description and book a private consultation with me below, and also get your budget planners. It's about to be the beginning of the year. Let's start off correctly, let's get organized, and let's get these goals going. So this budget, we're not working on paying off debt, we're just trying to work on saving and meeting that cash surplus that we promised of 151. So we're going to continue to keep doing this budget just so she gets better at budgeting, and then once she secures this budget, then we'll create a debt payoff plan for her. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe and go shop at JaleaCreations.com. Everything will be listed below in the description box. Bye.